The story the right has been telling about this moment is about these marauding anti-fascist mobs from Antifa, as the president calls them. Antifa does not even really exist.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. Yeah, that's right. You know, they're going to extreme, so at this point I'm changing the name. Calling these fake news hustlers out. Hustlers like Al Sharpton. Just when you thought that the NASCAR Bubba Wallace controversy was all cleared up and over, the FBI says it was a rope used to pull down a garage door, not a noose that was placed for intimidation. So this is over. It's done, right? But it's never over at MSNBC because they just love talking about racism.
Why was a noose in the stall? It's clear what a noose represents. And I think to go whether or not they knew that sooner or later the one black driver would use that stall really doesn't answer why it was in the stall at all. And then did someone know that it was in the stall when they did belatedly assign Bubba there? So I don't think this answers a lot of questions.
It actually answers all of the questions. I mean, just ask Bubba.
I want to start with the federal investigators' conclusion no crime was committed. Therefore, they say there will be no federal charges. How are you processing this latest turn of events?
Yeah, no, it was a relief that, I wasn't targeted at anything.
Not a hate crime. Hey, there we go. We're done here. But clearly, with all the tension, the leftist media wouldn't want to fuel a fake racist narrative about a garage door rope, right? Yeah, of course these jerks would. So
now for anybody to question it and say it's not a noose, it was a rope pull, whatever it is, to say it's not a hate crime, I still don't really know what happened here.
You just reported on it. What do you mean you don't know what happened? How stupid are you? Oh, man, that segment on CBS was supported with ads by Colgate, by the way. So if you want to brush away this bias, please call Colgate at the number below. Let them know how you feel about their support of that crap. And while we're speaking of complete crap, Joe Biden just made crap up on Thursday.
Everything is complicated. Not only is the healthcare piece, but people don't have a job. People don't have anywhere to go. They don't know what they're going to do. And a lot of people you have unnecessarily. Now we have over 120 million dead from COVID.
120 million? No, it's more like 120,000 in the United States. But hey, counting is so very hard for Joe. We all know if President Trump is too high or low on any number he speaks of, the media comes out claiming it's false, he's lying, it's misleading. So I really couldn't wait to see how the network newscast dealt with Biden.
And on the campaign trail, Joe Biden said the president has failed the American people and is acting like a child.
The former vice president, campaigning in Pennsylvania, slammed the president for being more concerned about himself than the average American.
Biden using his harshest language yet.
He's like a child.
Joe Biden tonight taking aim at President Trump's handling of the coronavirus crisis.
He's like a child.
And like children playing hide and seek, ABC, NBC, and CBS Evening Newscasts just hid the Biden gaffe. Just played his Trump insults. There's no coverage on his lie. I guess they didn't think making a claim of deaths 1,000 times larger than the actual number, they don't think that's misleading. But hiding facts is what they do. MSNBC's Chris Hayes informed his audience at 12 this week that it's definitely not Antifa and those on the far left that are tearing down statues, looting, and burning buildings. It's just not what's happening.
The story the right has been telling about this moment is about these marauding anti-fascist mobs from Antifa, as the president calls them, coming to your town to cause mayhem, to start riots, to tear down your statues, to take everything you love and hold dear. The president predictably, getting along with this, heightening the tension and fear, threatening anyone who vandalizes or destroys any monument, statue, or other such federal property, like, say, pulling down a statue of a Confederate traitor on public land with 10 years in prison. Antifa does not even really exist as a coherent organization in any traditional sense. Certainly not in the way the president and the right wing imagine.
Antifa doesn't even really exist. Those statues being torn down, the looting, the burning, the assaults. You're imagining that to be worse than it is. Pretty twisted. But I also loved how MSNBC twisted the purpose of new border wall construction this week.
What the president has done, and they're signaling that this is the 200th mile of new wall, replacement wall, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is what this wall will do is going to have drastic effects, and it will make border enforcement along the southwest border much different. It will force migrants, as has border enforcement strategy along the southwest border for decades, into more dangerous and deadly territory as they try to cross.
Yes, this wall forces illegal immigrants to cross in more deadly ways.
It will force migrants, as has border enforcement strategy along the southwest border for decades, into more dangerous and deadly territory.
I thought a wall was to prevent illegal crossings. I didn't know it forced people to commit crimes. It's too bad that you almost never get to see anybody have the opportunity to ask MSNBC while they're on the air why they present things with such hatred and bias. Except occasionally, they do, and when they do, oh boy, is it priceless.
Do you mind if I ask you guys, why not wear a mask?
It's not about the mask, it's about the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy that it is okay for tens of thousands of people to go and riot, to go and protest, but you cannot have a group of 1,000 or I don't know how many people are here, but this is not okay.
Are you concerned about your guys' own health? And that
Why don't you cover the protesters and ask why they aren't wearing a mask? Yeah. Why didn't you do that?
The protesters at those events are wearing masks. I'm asking you guys. I'm asking you guys.
I'm asking you a question. Why don't you?
I'm asking you a question.
You
could ask a great number of folks why they were not wearing masks.
Why aren't they wearing a mask? And why isn't the liberal news media focusing on them not wearing a mask?
It's a question the leftist media extremists like to avoid, but based on their coverage of protesters and CHOP, there's a lot of things they like to avoid, and usually it's facts.
I think that this has been the most peaceful week these streets have seen. There has been no issues of violence.
It's very chill here.
Oh yeah, it certainly seems like the Summer of Love Street Festival, huh? That's all the time we have. I'm Eric Shiner for MRC TV. Please check out the great conservative gear at MRC-store. There's also plenty of great videos at mrctv.org. Like and share the videos you see on Facebook and YouTube. And we'll be back with some more wacky leftist media moments next week.